Welcome back to the Night Shift Journals. The clock is at 2:13 a.m. Dr. Krauss, his body failing, his mind desperate, has made his final move. He is attempting to transfer the entire network of 14 souls and himself into Emma. To stop him, David Chen has given his daughter an impossible choice. Let him inject her, die, and enter the liminal space where he will be waiting. Tonight, the confrontation is not in the physical world. It is in the void. In Episode 6, The Liminal Space, Emma Chen will cross the final boundary. She will leave her body, her world, and her life behind to fight a monster in a realm built of pure consciousness. This is the story of the injection, the journey into the gray, and the final, terrible sacrifice. If you are ready to take that step with her, be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. And let us know in the comments, what do you believe lies in the space between life and death? Settle in. The syringe is ready. There is no turning back now. Welcome back to the Night Shift Journals. The clock is at 2:13 a.m. Dr. Krauss, his body failing, his mind desperate, has made his final move. He is attempting to transfer the entire network of 14 souls and himself into Emma. To stop him, David Chen has given his daughter an impossible choice. Let him inject her, die, and enter the liminal space where he will be waiting. Tonight, the confrontation is not in the physical world. It is in the void. In Episode 6, The Liminal Space, Emma Chen will cross the final boundary. She will leave her body, her world, and her life behind to fight a monster in a realm built of pure consciousness. This is the story of the injection, the journey into the gray, and the final, terrible sacrifice. If you are ready to take that step with her, be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. And let us know in the comments, what do you believe lies in the space between life and death? Settle in. The syringe is ready. There is no turning back now. 2:14 a.m. The room was a chaos of red, flashing lights and blaring alarms. Dr. Cross's consciousness burning inside. Dr. Sterling's dying body lunged at Emma. The syringe held tight in his fist. The blue LD-15 fluid seemed to glow. It's time, Emma. He shrieked. No. Marcus roared, struggling to rise, but the taser's voltage had left him weak. He was held back by the two guards. Cross grabbed Emma's arm. She did not fight. She did not pull away. She locked eyes with her father, David Chen, who lay helpless on the bed, his body a prison. I'll see you there, she whispered. David's eyes, filled with both terror and a profound love, nodded once. Be strong. Don't let him win. Cross plunged the needle into her arm. The drug was instantaneous. It was not a gentle drift into sleep. It was a chemical anchor, dragging her down. A paralyzing cold flooded her veins, moving straight to her heart. Her vision tunneled. The sounds of the roomed alarms, Marcus's desperate, echoing shout. Emma, no. All of it distorted, as if sinking underwater. 2:15 a.m. Her heart, which had beaten with such furious life, gave one final, painful thump, and stopped. On the monitor, her lifeline went flat. A single, piercing, continuous tone. The transition was immediate. Emma's consciousness herself snapped, free. She felt a sensation of weightlessness. She was floating. She looked down and saw the scene, as if from the ceiling. Her own body, pale and still on the floor. Marcus, screaming her name, pushing the guards away, lunging for her. He checked her pulse. She's gone. Rivera, the paddles, Rivera yelled from across the room. No, Marcus, wait. 7 minutes. We have to give her 7 minutes before we revive her. It's the only way. Emma watched them, detached. The scene already felt distant, unreal. Then came the pull. It was not a sound. It was a feeling. A violent, cosmic suction, like a vacuum turning on at the base of her soul. The room, her body, Marcused, all dissolved. She was pulled backward, through a dark, rushing tunnel. And then she stopped. She was standing. She was in a corridor. It was unmistakably a hospital, but it was wrong. The walls were a dull, flat gray, absorbing all light. The fluorescent fixtures on the ceiling flickered, casting shadows that moved incorrectly. The dimensions were unstable. The hall seemed to stretch for miles, then shrink to a few feet. There was no sound, not even the sound of her own breathing. There was only a low, constant, subsonic hum, a hum she felt in her bones, not her ears. The temperature was neither hot nor cold. It was an absence of sensation. She had arrived. At the far end of the shifting corridor, a figure stood, bathed in the flickering light. It was a woman, wearing a starched, white nurse's uniform from 2005. It was Sarah Mitchell. She looked calm, peaceful. "Hello, Emma," Sarah said. Her mouth did not move, but Emma heard the voice perfectly in her mind. "Welcome to the space between life and death." Emma looked down at her own hands. They were solid. She was wearing the scrubs she had died in. Is this real? Am I dead? Sarah gave a sad, gentle smile. You are clinically dead. Your body, back in that room, has stopped. But your consciousness here, you persist here. This is the liminal space, the waiting room. You will stay here until your body is either revived or you let go and move on to whatever comes next. My father, Emma said, the thought cutting through her confusion. Where is he? He's here, Sarah said, motioning down the impossible corridor. Deeper in, he's at the center of this place. He is this place. He's the anchor. But Emma, before you see him, you have to understand the rules. Rules? This space, Sarah explained, her voice echoing in Emma's thoughts. It's a construct. It's built from our minds. Part quantum state, part shared nightmare. Cross created it with his machines, but we furnished it. The 14 of Usta of their subjects we are trapped here. The neural interface, the L-Dedragit severed us from our bodies, but it didn't let us leave. We exist in a loop, reliving our final moments, our deaths. Your father, Sarah's expression darkened as Subject 13. He was the first to survive the full 7 minutes and return. But when he came back, he brought us with him. He became the anchor, stabilizing this space, preventing it from collapsing. Okay, but it came at a price, Sarah said, her voice filled with pain. He has been in agony for 20 years, Emma, experiencing all 13 of our deaths, over and over, every single second. He holds our pain so we can't. ... rest. Sarah pointed to the walls of the gray corridor. Doors, dozens of them lining the hall. Each one looked like a standard hospital room door, with a small metal plaque. LO1, LO2. Each door contains a subject's consciousness, Sarah said. Their memories, their final moments, their prison. What happens if I open one? Emma asked. You experience their death, Sarah said simply. It's how we communicate. It's how we share what he did to us. Gross, Emma said, the name tasting like ash. He's here. He said he was transferring. Sarah's calm expression faltered, a flicker of pure fear. I feel him. He's here, but he's not like us. He's not a prisoner. He's an invader. He's trying to take control of the network. If he succeeds before your body is revived, he'll use you as his new anchor, and he will trap us all forever. As she spoke, a new door flickered into existence at the end of the hall. It was identical to the others, but the plaque was new, shiny, L15, Emma Chen. He's already doing it, Sarah whispered, her voice tight with panic. He's already building your prison. Emma, we have less time than I thought. We have to hurry, Sarah said, pulling Emma by the arm. The touch was not physical. It was a mental tug, a pure communication of intent. You need to see. You need to understand who you are fighting for. She led Emma to the first door. L01. Margaret Ross. Margaret was 67, Sarah narrated, her voice a sad eulogy. She had terminal cancer. She volunteered for the protocol, believing she was helping science. She thought she was a pioneer. Emma reached out. Her hand passed through the door. She was instantly overwhelmed. She felt the searing pain of bone cancer, the cold of the injection, the terror of the heart stub, the confusion of the gray corridor, then the agonizing pull back. She felt Margaret's consciousness return to her body. But her body was too weak. She died again, of complications, hours later. But her mind stayed here. I've been here since 2005, a woman's voice whispered in Emma's head. I'm so tired, Emma, so very tired. Emma pulled back, gasping, though she had no lungs. The memory was as real as her own. Sarah pulled her to the next door. L04, Robert W.E.B.B. Marcus's father, Emma breathed. He needed the money for his son's education, Sarah said. Emma touched the door. She felt the lie, the sleep study. She felt the searing pain as the neural interface overloaded. The sudden, explosive pop of a brain hemorrhage. It was instant, agonizing, and terrifying. Tell Marcus I love him, a man's voice, Robert's voice, echoed from the memory. Tell him the money wasn't worth it. Tell him I'm proud, the thought cut off, as his life had. Emma stumbled back. He's been reliving that. For 20 years, Sarah said, until your father learned to shield us. Now, we just... wait. They passed another door. L07. Thomas Park. Thomas, Emma realized. Bed 7. The MVA patient. He wasn't in a coma, Sarah said, her voice filled with rage. He was here. Kratz kept him on life support for 3 years, using him as a backup anchor. He was conscious, trapped in his own body, and trapped here. He died in that bed when Rivera freed him. Emma felt a wave of nausea. This wasn't just murder. This was a new, unimaginable, technological damnation. Krat hadn't just experimented in 2005. He had been adding subjects for decades, trying to perfect the network. He needed 15 subjects, Sarah explained. He called it a stable triad of 5, a complete circle. You, Emma, you were the final piece. The one who would lock the network, make it stable enough for his own consciousness to transfer. Permanently. Suddenly, the gray corridor shook. The floor buckled. The flickering lights exploded in a shower of non-existent sparks. A voice grows his voice, but distorted, magnified, and layered with a digital scream boomed through the space. Found you? A shadow, darker than the gray walls, appeared at the far end of the hall. It was coalescing, taking shape, and it was moving toward them. Fast? He's here, Sarah screamed, her voice no longer calm. His original body died. His consciousness, it's untethered. It's raw. Run. Sarah pulled Emma, and they ran. But running here was not physical. It was an act of will, a desperate push through the unstable geometry of the corridor. The shadow that was Cross surged after them. It was not a man. It was a glitch, a vortex of pure, malignant ego. His form flickered at once the old man, then Dr. Sterling, then something else entirely, a shifting mass of black code. You think you have beaten me? His voice roared, seeming to come from the walls themselves. I am free. I don't need my original body, and when I'm done with you, I'll take yours. He's trying to sever your connection, Sarah yelled as they ran. He wants to kick you out of your own body, permanently. The corridor twisted. The walls closed in, the floor tilting, becoming a sheer cliff. The doors of the other subjects burst open. 13 voices, a symphony of death screamed in Emma's mind. The pain of Robert's hemorrhage, the fire of another's death, the ice of another's drowning. It all hit her at once. The sensory overload was an attack. He's using them against us, Sarah explained, her voice strained. In this space, will and consciousness are power. Cross has been navigating here for years, through the network. He's strong. But you have something he doesn't, Sarah urged. You are still tethered. Your body is still alive. Barely you can leave. He cannot. Where are we going? Emma gasped. To your father. He's the only one who can stop Cross here. They reached the center of the liminal space. It was not a corridor. It was a vast, circular chamber. In the middle stood David Chen. He was not the broken man from the hospital bed. He was here as he was in his prime, strong, confident. He was surrounded by glowing etheric threads, each one connecting him to one of the 14 doors that lined the chamber. He was, literally, the anchor, the hub, holding the shattered minds of the others together. He saw Emma. His face, which had been a mask of concentration, broke into a smile of pure, heartbreaking love. Sweetheart, I'm so sorry you had to come here. Dad, a touching reunion. Cross's voice echoed. The shadow glitch of his consciousness filled the chamber entrance. But it's over, David. I'm taking your position. I will be the anchor. And Imushi can take my place in Sterling's dying body. A perfect trade. I've been waiting for you, Emma, David said, his voice calm, ignoring Cross. Not to trap you, but to free us all. What Emma started. Cross thinks he can control this network, David explained, his voice radiating a quiet power. But he doesn't understand it. The anchor isn't a position of power. It's a position of sacrifice. He looked at Cross. To be the anchor, you have to hold everyone's pain, everyone's death, constantly. It is a hell of our own making, Lucius. I've been shielding them from it. But you won't be able to. Cross laughed, a sound like shattering glass. I've prepared for this. I am stronger than all of you. I can handle it. David Chen smiled sadly. Then take it. What? Cross's arrogance faltered. You want to be the anchor? Be my guest. Before Cross or Emma could react, David raised his hands. The 14 glowing threads that connected him to the other souls, he pushed them. He transferred the anchor role. The threads disconnected from David's consciousness and surged, like lightning, into Cross's unstable, shadowy form. Cross roared, triumphant. Yes, the power. I can feel. His voice changed. It stopped. His triumph turned to a gurgle of absolute, primal horror. The network was his. And so was the pain. All of it, at once. He felt Margaret's cancer. He felt Robert's brain hemorrhage. He felt the drowning of Subject 6, the fire of Subject 10. He felt 13 agonizing deaths. Plus the crushing weight of David's 20 years of suffering, all flooding into his mind at the same infinite repeating second. No, it cross-screamed. Stop. I tease too much. I tease too much. He was no longer a man, no longer a shadow. He was no longer a shadow. He was just a raw, screaming vortex of agony, collapsing in on himself. You wanted immortality, Lucius? David said, his voice heavy with pity. Enjoy eternity. David, now free from the threads, rushed to Emma. He looked ... tired, but peaceful. Emma, he said, his voice urgent. Your body back in the world. It's been dead for 6 minutes. You have 1 minute left before there is permanent brain damage. Before you can't go back, you need to go, now. What about you? Emma cried. What about all of you? Sarah Mitchell appeared at her side, her form already glowing, becoming brighter. We can finally move on. The anchor is Stablecross is holding it. He's trapped, and we are ... free. Dad, Emma grabbed him. He hugged her. The touch was real, warm. I love you. Live your life. Be happy. And Emma, his face became stern. Destroy all of his research. Every last file. Do not let anyone follow him here. Promise me. I promise, she sobbed. Now go. David pushed her. Emma felt the pull again. The physical world, her body, was calling her back. The liminal space began to fade, dissolving into a brilliant, peaceful white light. She saw the other subjects, all 13 of them, standing in the corridor. Their gray, spectral forms were gone, replaced by glowing light. They were smiling. The doors behind them were open. Sarah waved goodbye. Thank you, Emma. Tell Claire, tell her, I forgive her. Robert Webb was there. Tell Marcus I'm proud of him. So proud. Each subject gave her a look, a feeling, a final message of peace. They turned, together, and walked toward the light. Emma was pulled backward, faster and faster, through the dark tunnel. She heard a sound, a voice. Marcus, come on, Emma, fight. Damn it, I'm not losing you. Clear, a blinding white light, a soundless explosion, an agonizing electric jolt. Her consciousness slammed back into her body like a car hitting a brick wall. It was a sensory overload. Pain, cold, the smell of ozone, the blinding fluorescent lights of room 13, the noise. She took a breath, a ragged, desperate, agonizing gasp. Her eyes flew open. She was on the floor. Marcus was over her, defibrillator paddles in hand, his face a mask of tears and sweat. She's back, Rivera yelled. We have a rhythm, Emma. Emma, can you hear me? Her throat was raw. She coughed. I can hear you. I saw them. All of them. The time on the monitor, 2:22 a.m. She had been dead for 7 minutes. Emma pushed herself up. She looked at the bed. Her father's body. The monitors were all flatlined. David Chen's body had died the instant he transferred the anchor. But she had seen him. In the corridor, in peace, free, the door to room 13 hissed open. Claire Thompson stumbled in, her face pale. She saw David's body. She saw the flat line. She covered her mouth, a sob escaping. "I'm so sorry, David. I'm so sorry, Sarah." "She forgives you, Claire," Emma whispered. Claire looked at her, stunned. But Emma was looking at the monitors. One monitor was not flatlined. The neural interface, the one that read the liminal space. It was still active. It showed a chaotic, violent, endless storm of brain activity. "What?" Rivera breathed. "What is that?" "Okay, that's Cross," Emma said, her voice cold. "He's the anchor now. He's trapped, experiencing everyone's death, forever." "Good," Marcus spat, climbing to his feet. "Let him rot." Suddenly, a new alarm. Not the B3 lockdown. This one was high-pitched. It was the main hospital fire alarm. Alarms were blaring throughout St. Catherine's. "What now?" Marcus said. His phone buzzed. And again, and again. A news alert. "Emma," he said, his voice filled with a new, different kind of dread. "We have a problem. A big problem." He showed her the screen. A breaking news alert from a major Boston news outlet. Anonymous source leaks classified medical experiments at St. Catherine's. Federal investigation launched. "Who?" Emma started. The computer terminal in the corner of room 13 flickered. An email sent notification. Timestamp 2:15 a.m. Sent to the FBI, the CDC, the Boston Globe. Subject: The Lazarus Protocol Evidence. Sender: David Chen, MD. "He set it on a timer," Rivera whispered, awestruck. The moment his heart stopped, he made sure the truth got out. But Emma was staring at the sent folder. "Marcus," she said, her voice shaking. "He didn't just send the evidence against Cross. He sent ... everything. He sent the research, the neural interface schematics, the formula for LD-15. He sent proof. Proof that consciousness survives death." Marcus looked at her. Is that a bad thing?" Emma looked at the monitor, at the screaming, digital consciousness of Lucius Cross, trapped for eternity. "It is," she whispered, "if someone else tries to replicate it." Emma is back. She has faced death and returned. Her father and the 14 souls are finally free. The monster who haunted St. Catherine's is imprisoned in a hell of his own making. But the fight is not over. Her father's final act has changed the world. He didn't just expose a conspiracy. He exposed ... reality. The secret of the liminal space is out. Monsters are not unique. The story of the Night Shift Journals will continue. But for now ... the immediate terror has passed. The rescue is complete. The resurrection is done. It is time to let your own mind rest. We now begin our 30-minute black screen sleep aid. Let the feeling of return, of breath, of life ground you. You are safe. You are here. Let the darkness be a comfort. Let the silence be your shield. Sleep now.